So, welcome to the topic communicate for results. Guys, this is a very powerful topic to talk upon and a very exciting one. Okay, so let's go directly into the topic. It's a very short topic, but it's very powerful. So, how many of you have done rework, whether it is your personal life or whether it is your professional life? You know, your boss told you to do some work. You did a lot of work, you put in a lot of effort, maybe a day, 2 days work, and you presented that work to your boss. And guess what? The boss said, this is not what I wanted. Have you gone through this experience? Maybe your mother, father, some relative gave you some work. There was an event in your family, and you were given that work, and you did a lot of work, you did a lot of effort, and they said the same thing. This is not what I wanted. How, friends, how painful is it to do rework? I wanted to feel the three main feelings that you're going through right now. Pause this video and mention in the comments what is your experience about rework, how painful it is, and what are the three feelings that you go through when you are asked to do rework. Now friends, I want you to start contributing into this community by doing this homework, by doing this work, by commenting in the box below, because other people, when they are going to read your comments, it's going to make a difference to them. So do write what you think about rework, how painful is it, and what are the three feelings that you're going through. Pause this video now. I'm sure you have done, and you posted it in the comment box. So the next question obviously is going to be, how do I avoid rework? Well, it's a communication issue, and the answer is, how do you communicate with people? Okay, so before we go into the technique of communication, let us look at a certain concept. What is the real need? When people tell you to do something, they actually don't tell you what they really want. Okay, so it looks like that people seem to be motivated by what they want. Someone tells you that I want a newspaper. Now, it appears for you that he really wants a newspaper. But guys, does he really want a newspaper, or what does he really want? Don't you think so? It's the gossip, the news, the critique, the editorials that he is interested in reading. So it's not really the newspaper that he wants. What he really wants is the gossip, the news, the editorial. That's what he wants. When people say, I want a toothpaste, what do they really want? Do they really want a toothpaste? No one buys a toothpaste for a toothpaste. What they really want is fresh mouth, clean teeth. Especially if they are going for a date, then that's what they really want. You started getting a sense of what I'm trying to say. Let's look at some more examples. Which of this appears to be a correct statement? I want a spectacle, I need a spectacle. Mention it in the comment box. And if there is a person who is bald, does he need a wig? Does he want a wig? What do you think? Write your comments in the comment box. I'm sure if the person is impaired in his seeing capacity, he definitely needs a spectacle. But what about a bald person? Does he really need a wig? Well, can you see that you really have to probe into people? Some places people are very clear, but most places people are not clear what they really want. By giving you these examples, I'm trying to tell you that people many times don't know what they really want. or they don't express, I would say that they don't express what they really want. What about medicines? I'm going to leave you whether they really want medicines or they really want good health, they want recovery, what is it that they really want to say. Different people will tell you different things. So the point here is that we really have to probe them, is to find out what is it that they really want. If I want to avoid rework, and if I want to help people, if I want to create results in the first time, then I need to know really what people want. How do I do that? Let's go and look at the questioning technique that I'm going to talk about. So the first question is called the future probing question. There are 4 questions to be asked in any situation. We'll talk about that in details. Second question is the mining question. Third is there anything else? And the fourth question is, once you are clear about what that person really wants, then get to know by asking a prioritizing question, in what priority do they want the work to be done. Excellent. So this is the 4 question technique. Let's go deeper into each one of them. Okay. So a future probing question is a question which must force the receiver of that question to think, go into the future and really answer you. So let's say people say that I want motivation. Now the question here is, how does this person know that he is motivated? What should happen in his life that when that happens, this person knows that he motivates? Can you see how, by asking this question, what should happen in this person's life, and how will this person know that he is motivated? If that thing happens in his life, yes, then he is motivated. So this question is a really powerful question. To give you some examples of probing questions, okay? So what do you want to achieve with it is one way of telling the person to think in the future, go to the future, and give you answer from the future. What does he want to achieve with it? How would you know that you have achieved it? What should happen in that situation that you are clear that you have got what you wanted? I'm sure you're getting a sense. Now, it requires a little bit of practice. The more you practice, the better you will be at this skill. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a few situations right now. Pause this video over here, take each situation and write down as many future-based questions about that particular situation. So when a boss asks you to write a report, so it's not co-write, it is write. Sorry for the typing error. A father asks you to save in mutual funds and you don't want to do it. Okay, write what are the future-based questions that you can, so that you are clear about why is your father asking you to save money. Now obviously it is the best, but still, your mother asks you to do a household job. You are with a customer and you're trying to solve his problem. Or the customer is trying to say something. You need to understand what exactly is the customer want. So take each of these situations. Your friend is stuck up in a situation. How do you help that particular person? So pause this video and write down as many future probing questions as you can. Friends, this is the most powerful tool. So do not fast forward and go to the next step. Please take efforts and start practicing these future probing questions. Because if you don't know how to ask future probing questions, you will get stuck into your rework. So pause, write it down. I'm sure you have practiced what I have asked you to practice. Let's go to the next point. Mining questions are to get more information about what that person is trying to say. So the questions like who, what, why, where, when will help you understand, dig more deeper into that person and find out what exactly that person wants. So uh, I'm going to give you an example at the end of this as what are mining questions and how do you utilize them. But simply dig deeper to get more information. Once you have gone that, then when you feel that that person has almost said whatever he wanted to say, ask him this: is there anything else? And guess what? He will tell you something else. And then again, you can go back to your future probing questions, go to the mining questions, ask him anything else, tell me something more. It's like a process. It's not like fixed 1 2 3 4. You go move in front, go to the step number 1, step number 3. So it's like a technique to ask. And once you're complete with this whole process, then use the fourth and the final prioritizing questions. Once you are clear A, B, C, D, or 1 2 3 4, then ask the prioritizing question: what is your number 1 priority? What is your number 2 priority, etc. So that you give that person exactly what that person wants. I hope you got the technique of the questioning technique. First is the future probing question. Second is the mining question. Third is ask them, is there anything else that you want to say? And fourth is to ask the prioritizing question. So I'm going to give you an example of I went for selling my products, earlier products, and leadership development. I was in the leadership development space. So I used to go and talk to the CEOs. So one fine day, I went and did my 30-minute presentation with the CEO. CEO looked at his diary and said, excellent, I'm going to buy this product. Let's start in the next month. I said, hold on, sir. I have a few questions to ask. Obviously, I asked these questions when they signed up and they paid me my advance. Okay. So in this particular meeting, after I got my contract and my advance, I asked the CEO a few questions and I started, what is it that you want out of this initiative? And he gave me an answer: I want motivation, leadership, and efficiency for my team. Now, if I had to go and, okay, this is what I went ahead and I did that initiative with that, I may have landed up in trouble. But having learned this questioning technique, the 4-question technique myself, I asked him, what does motivation really mean? Why do you think he feels that his team is not motivated? How does he know that his team is not motivated? And then he said that, Raju, these are teachers. And you know how teachers are. They are so much involved. They are passionate. They are excellent teachers. There's no question about that. But they are so attached to their work. And they're not willing to go beyond teaching. Okay. So then I asked him that what should happen in your organization that you'll know that these people are motivated, they have become leaders, they have become efficient. And then he says that, well, many times I have noticed I want them to grow from teaching to being a manager, to being a leader in the organization. I said, well, okay, but how do you know? What are the telltale signs in your organization which will tell you that, okay, they are motivated and they are now taking up a leadership role in the organization? So he says, I don't find, they keep things with themselves and they don't let go. I said, okay. And they're not willing to involve other people in their work. They want to do everything by themselves. So then I asked him one question: are you expecting delegation from them? He says, that's exactly what I want from them, delegation. Okay, so one was clear. Now he wants delegation. Next, I said, how do you know that they are efficient, or why do you say that they are not efficient? No, when I ask them to do some work, they take a lot of time. and I don't get things on time. So do you mean to say that manage time? Says exactly, that's what I want them to do. And then what about leadership? So I again asked him a question: what does he mean by really mean by leadership? Uh, and he says, I have a particular vision for this organization, and I want them to blend into that vision. I want them to work with me in that vision of this organization. I want them to start seeing the strategy that I have designed for this organization. And guys, so I asked him, do you want them to be strategic thinkers just like the way you are? He says, yes, exactly, Raju. This is exactly what I want from them. So, friends, delegation, managing time, strategic thinking. Now, this didn't happen in just 5-10 minutes. It took me 3 1-hour meetings with the SEO over a period of almost 15 days or a month or so, because he didn't have time so much. So I had to meet him a couple of times. In each of these, then I kept on probing. I made him go to the future, asked him future probing questions. I asked him mining questions to dig deeper as to what really does he want. And can you see how he started with motivation, leadership, and efficiency, which are very vague terms, and then he told me that he wants delegation, manage time, strategic things, and a couple of other things, based on which I designed the workshop for them, which was a long workshop, a 1 hour, 12-month workshop. And I'm telling you guys that the workshop was a super success. In fact, in this particular initiative, I had to tell the teachers, I want no more implementation than delegation. Stop delegating. So did I motivate them? Did I bring out the leadership qualities in them? Did I increase their efficiency? And did I give them the power of delegation? Also, there were people in this particular batch who created a job profile for them which was not existing in the organization. So strategic thinking was powerfully given to them. So I want you to get that how, when you use this questioning technique, you will deliver the results the first time. You will communicate for results. Let me give you another success story, a $1 million US dollar contract. Now, I was into this leadership development space for a mid-level software organization, and they had bid for a particular, the customer had asked for bids from various other suppliers also, and this particular company had also bidded along with the stalwarts in the organization, in the industry. They were in the software solutions industry, and there were large stalwarts from that industry who were also pitching. So these guys were pitching against the top 3 industry stalwarts. However, a group of the people had just freshly learned this questioning technique. So what they did, they went to the customer and they listened, they had a meeting with them, started using this questioning technique. And it took them, like how I took a couple of meetings, these people also took a couple of meetings, and the customer was asking for solution A. These people came back, did their homework, went back to the customer, asked more questions, dig deeper, and they came up with a solution B. And in the final presentation, they told the customer, you're asking me for A, here is it that we are asking you, this is the solution that we are offering you. And the customer said, exactly, that's exactly what I want. And this group of people earned a $1 million contract for the organization against the stalwarts in the industry. So friends, I can't divulge much about this success story because I have signed a NDA contract with the organization, so I can't divulge the name, the details of this, but I am not making up this story. This is a true story. I want you all to understand the power of this questioning technique. So learn to communicate for results. Stop rework, avoid rework. Use this questioning technique, the 4 question techniques which I have said, and give people what exactly they want. I'm sure you can see the power of this questioning technique to rebrand yourself in the market, because when you start giving results to people the way they want it, they will start loving and they will work more and more with you. Thank you.